Look what came in the mail here. Uh, Beautiful looking solid wood instrument, bone nut, saddle, abalone inlay. Some people may not care for the paint job. I like it. To me, ukulele is a fun instrument, and this looks fun. I'm not a big fan of maple ukuleles. I don't care for the sound, uh, but there are a couple of times where I needed that sound, and I've been looking for a maple ukulele for a long time, and look at a flame on this is beautiful, and I finally found the one that I wanted, and here it is, and it's a beauty. It's a combination of handmade and also, the inlay is done with computer routing and laser machines and to perfection, and it turned out real nice. Again, I don't really care for maple side and back. It looks nice on an acoustic ukulele or a guitar. I don't care for the sound at all. On a Les Paul, it sounds great, but here, there are a couple instances where I've needed this sound, and I've been very resistant to buying a maple ukulele because I'm not going to really use it all that much. But this one is a beauty. I like happy music. I like listening to happy music. I like playing happy music. And this has got a beautiful paint job. All wood binding. Even put a cap on the rosewood cap on the old growth maple. Old growth mahogany, I'm sorry. Beautiful, beautiful. I don't know if you can see that. Flame maple is just incredible. On the sides too. Cedar top. Came in the big green truck. And it's ready to go. I just have to figure out what kind of strings to put on it. I'm gonna change the tuners. I don't care for these at all. Ukuleles, I think, are out of the question on a maple ukulele, but I haven't really figured out what kind of strings to use yet. They left the choice up to me because this is literally fishing string. It's not even cheap strings. They're fishing strings, so they leave the choice up to you. This is a nice outfit that makes beautiful instruments. Combination of handcrafted and state of the art computer operated routers and old growth wood, which I wish would stay in the jungle, but it isn't, and I have no control over that at all. So you might as well get it. Strings, the string choice on this, I think, is going to be very important. I haven't figured out exactly what to do with it yet, but we'll see. I bought a jumbo guitar, a 12-string jumbo. I know, right? Who in their right mind wants to play a jumbo? A maple on top of it. But I got it for almost nothing. Somebody had left it in their closet. It's a solid wood instrument, very, very nice instrument. The bridge had cracked, it got so dry. And the whole instrument, the grain looked raised because it was so dry. It took me a year and a half to get it to sound, just to get the wood back to where it should be. A lot of people didn't think I could do it, but for the little bit of money I paid for it, I did it. So I got it done, and I got it back to normal, and I got the right strings on it. And for a maple uh, side and back guitar, a 12 string, it sounds okay. It sounds pretty good for what it is. Like I said, maple isn't uh, my preference for ukulele or guitar, but it worked, and now I have the one thing I've always wanted, a maple ukulele. Uh, Beautiful craftsmanship. I can't say that enough. I think I've said it too many times already. Uh, I'm going to have to figure out what kind of strings to put on it. That's the thing. And for somebody like me who doesn't really know what they're doing, that may take a while. But I think this instrument, with the materials that have been used and lost, taken from nature, I have a responsibility to make this thing sound just as good as I can get it to sound. And for the few instances where I need a maple sound, I think I'm going to be able to make it sound pretty darn good. I will say this about this instrument. These people, they understand the value of this wood. That's, let's face it, some of this wood is very, very, it's getting very rare, especially up here. This, rosewood, look at how thick that is, disappearing very quickly. But they understand the value of that. They put a two-way truss rod into this thing. In both their tenor and their concert size, they put a two-way truss rod into their 4-string ukes. And their 8-string too, which I really like. Because that means with a two-way truss rod, this ukulele is going to last forever. And you're going to use this wood, make sure it's not in something disposable. This, if it's well taken care of, will last forever. Another thing I like is the bridge. They lacquered it, with the rest to the body of the ukulele. Now, I wouldn't do that on a guitar. From a little bit I know from shop class in high school, and my father was pretty good with wood. But on a ukulele, a 4-string ukulele with nylon strings or Nile gut strings, or not steel strings, it really makes sense, and I think it's a good idea. So dual, two-way, not dual. I said that wrong. It's a two-way truss rod, and this bridge lacquered in like this are great ideas for a ukulele. No, I'm not talking about guitar, but ukulele. After a lot of work, I got that maple 12-string jumbo. I mean, a jumbo, really, right? Who wants to play a jumbo? When it gets right down to it, who wants to play a jumbo guitar, even if it is a 12? But it's a beautifully crafted instrument, and I finally have my flame maple or maple ukulele. I mean, a tenor that's this was very inexpensive. It was just shocking how little amount of money it was. But, some people will say it's too loud, it's too gaudy. I don't think so. This, to me, ukulele is a instrument that's to be used to play fun, happy music. I love to strum on a ukulele. I don't shred on it. I don't care for shredding at all. I go the other way. I like 8 and 12 string, 8 string ukuleles and 12 string guitars. I like to slow and strum, slow and easy, all day long. But I think I'll be able to get this to sound pretty darn good for what it is, a maple ukulele. Maple has its limitations. It's not my preferred sound. And certainly I have my limitations. But I'm going to get it to sound pretty good. So, you know, if you understand the situation that we're in right now, and you're not running to the four corners of the earth or listening to talk shows on the radio or TV telling you that everything's okay, just go do what you're going to do. If you understand that this coronavirus is mutating every single time it goes to another person, and that one of these times it may mutate into something that we cannot control at all and kills everybody, from young to the old. If you understand the situation we're in and you're staying at home, you know, get yourself a ukulele. You can get a plastic and carbon fiber ukulele for like $60. You don't have to worry about high frets because it's all molded in. You can play that thing in the bathtub or take it to the lake or the ocean. Bring it home and hose it down with a hose, and it'll be just fine. And it sounds okay. It's not a canalea or anything, but it sounds pretty good. And you don't have to worry, like I said, about the nut or the bridge or the frets. It's all molded in, and it comes with a beautiful little case. You get it for about $60 here in the United States. And the nice thing about ukulele is the strings are further apart. So you can start, you know, with this before you go to guitar, and you'll learn to fret. It's much easier to fret than a guitar. I learned on a ukulele first. After years of taking guitar lessons, I never got anywhere, and I just got on a uke, and finally it connected, and I was able to fret it properly, and then later I moved to guitar. So this is a good way to learn. You can put the capo on the, depending on how you have it tuned, on the second fret or the third fret, and you can play along with other people, you know, on standard tuned guitar. But you know, if you're going to stay at home and understand that it's important to do that if you can, play the ukulele. Sit down and learn some fun music and have some fun. Just strum away on it. It don't matter whether you sound good or bad. You just have some fun with it. There's plenty of people on YouTube that will teach you. There's a gal there that does a real good job. So buy yourself a plastic and carbon fiber uke that stays in tune, and you know the frets are all even, and start out with that, and it comes with a nice little case. You take it anywhere you want. You want to, in this day, maybe going to state parks and is the thing to do to stay away from crowds, and have yourself some fun. Playing a ukulele is a lot of fun. It really is. Now I'm going to do my best to make this sound as good as it can for a maple ukulele. It's not my preferred sound, but there are times when I could use it. And I think I will be able to get this to sound pretty good for a maple ukulele. I have another ukulele here that I'll get here that sounds incredible. It's not a canalea, but it does have a great sound. This is the front is Sinker redwood that was If you don't know what that is, here in America, there was logging in the 1800s and into the 1900s, and they used rivers to transport the logs. Some of them sank. They sank down to the bottom into the mud, and they sat there for 100 years or more. And just lately, in the last 20 years, they used sonar, and they found these logs, and there were a fair amount of them. And Ohana went ahead and bought a lot of it. This is sinker redwood, and it's figured, so it's got a flame action to it. And I'll tell you what, it sounds great. People say it sounds maybe kind of like a cedar top, which is nice. One of my best sounding instruments is a parlor-sized cedar guitar. But it's got a little different sound than that, but very nice. Again, all wood instrument, all organic, beautiful rope binding, bone nut and saddle in this beautiful, beautiful sinker redwood. Figured sinker redwood. I bought this many years ago. I don't think they're available anymore. And that was back when Ohana was making incredible instruments. They still are, but incredible instruments that for next to nothing. They were really a bargain. The sides are rosewood, and the back is rosewood. Old growth mahogany. Binding all the way around. Just a beautiful, beautiful instrument. You know, I wish none of this wood had been harvested, especially the rosewood. That's becoming very, very rare. But it is, and there's no way that I can stop it, or to be realistic, there's no way anyone can stop it. I don't think. So you might as well get it and have some fun. I've got a Canalea I like that has a very unique sound, but this also is one of my favorite ukuleles as far as 4 strings go. It has a beautiful, beautiful sound. I think I like it better than mahogany. Like I said, I have a cedar parlor-sized guitar, and that's one of the best sounding guitars I have ever heard. And boy, I got it for next to nothing. So get yourself a ukulele. Quit listening to the talk shows. Quit playing Fortnite or whatever, game where you have to shoot as many people as quickly as possible. And just put on a nature channel or the girl that teaches ukulele and lay back and use this time like Groundhog Day. And learn to change your outlook on life a little bit. Because, like I said, you guys are out there running around and you're listening instead of to doctors on a medical condition. Around here anyway, people are listening to people who have talk shows on the radio and TV. And they're nothing but nonsense. All they care about is, keeping certain businesses rolling. And if this virus happens to mutate into something, it's mutating hundreds of thousands of times already and throughout the world. And if it mutates into something that kills all of us, that's not good. So maybe stay at home if you can. Go to a isolated state park or someplace where there's not a lot of people, and get yourself a nice instrument. Or get yourself a carbon fiber plastic instrument to start with. You don't have to worry, like I said, about the frets. They're all level because it's all molded, and it's a great instrument for $60. And you take it to the beach. You can take it wherever you want. You don't have to worry about it. It's not like this. It's not something that's over the years become kind of valuable. Not just kind of valuable, one of a kind. But have some fun. Music's a fun thing. this is really a piece of besides being a really beautiful sounding instrument, it's a work of fine art. It really is. I mean, I've just had wood shop in high school and did work on the lathe, and my dad had a shop, and so I understand the craftsmanship that went into this, and the privilege it is to own something like this. But also the wood. This sinker redwood is really a part of American. It's a piece of Americana. It's a sad time, I think, all those trees cut down, but it happened, and you can't get any more old growth than this. These logs sank in the river 100 years ago, sank down into the mud, didn't rot, were perfectly preserved, and then they were picked up 10, 15 years ago with sonar, brought up to the surface, and made into all kinds of different beautiful, beautiful musical instruments by Ohana. So, a beautiful instrument. That other maple thing I got is beautiful, and I'm going to get it to sound as good as maple can sound in an acoustic ukulele. You know, on a Les Paul maple sounds great, I guess, but on acoustic instruments, I'm not a big fan of maple. But I'm going to get it to sound good for those few times where I'm going to need maple. But this thing here is just a beautiful, beautiful sounding instrument. It's just a pleasure to play. I play for hours on this thing. This one, my Canalea, I play nonstop. When I play 4 strings, I like to play 8 string, and then I play my tipple. That's a whole different experience because that's got steel strings and you use a pick. But it's still, I use it for strumming, and it's a lot of fun. So sit back and relax and have some fun. Aloha. If you get a chance, North Shore is being released on Blu-ray next month here in the United States. Excellent, excellent movie. If you like an easy, fun little romantic adventure, couldn't ask for more. Bye-bye.